forget to what we were doing. Chapter 3. Here's the Turing.
Okay, we can now either follow Tomcat's lead to KCOB, or Fairlight's lead to Melody's home. It depends on what you want our focus to be on in terms of tracking Hayden's trail. Should we follow the... Up to you where to go first. Okay, we can now either follow Tom... It depends on what you want. Up to you where to go.
I think we had
Ready to head out?
had already proceed from this point, but okay, not too far.
Here we are. The COS.io Corporation office building. It looks like most of the businesses on this block are a part of the same corporate coalition under COS.io. Well, perhaps. At the very least, it means it's unlikely they're the ones interfering with Augmented Eye's articles. Not impossible, but unlikely. Generally, the companies in a coalition don't have a whole lot of overlap. Augmented Eye is a news app focused on local tech and culture stories, with an emphasis on hybrids' rights and cybernetics issues. None of the other companies in the coalition cover news, so they aren't related at all, which is very much standard practice for these groups. They have nothing to gain by inviting companies with whom they compete, and thus none of them would benefit by trying to undermine Augmented Eye's credibility as a news source. In the early 2020s, the California government was pretty much going bankrupt.
Connection issues here, okay.
A poor national economy and repeated voter initiatives meant the state didn't have the tax revenue to continue running municipal services. They kept pushing the tax burden down the totem pole until poorer cities were just flat broke. No police, no road work, complete public service collapse. Then, one of the smaller cities sold all of their public infrastructure, police and fire included, to a private corporation. This was eventually challenged in court, but several Silicon Valley corporations started a grassroots initiative to have citizens pass an amendment to the state constitution allowing it. They succeeded, and most of the major cities in the state sold off their public services to private corporations.
That sounds really good idea.
Some places, like Los Angeles, just sold to the highest bidder. Which is probably why LA is essentially in a constant gang turf war, with one side wearing the uniforms of the studio-owned police forces. The cities in the Bay Area were a little more selective, and most of the municipal services are owned by multi-corporation coalitions. They split the bill of running the city between them and keep each other from being too corrupt in their usage of the police force and such, from fear of a PR disaster and being kicked out of the coalition. It means there isn't as much money going around, which is why the NSFPD's equipment is out of date and the meshnet is so successful over normal cable networks. After all, without the promise of a city infrastructure bought and paid for, the corporations all treat running the city like a charity and PR stunt. But at least the police aren't irredeemably corrupt.
Irredeemably
the fire trucks
corrupt.
still show up on time, and the water runs to all parts of the city.
How about electricity?
That can't be said for some areas of the state. I haven't spent enough time learning about the subject or politics in general to give you an educated answer. If I go by the posts people make on the meshnet, I'd say a combination of having bigger fish to fry and caving to corporate pressure. People seem certain that the larger multinational companies would love to be able to buy their own towns on a national scale, and are pumping money into Congress to try and make that happen. They hold up Neo-SF as an example of their success, while trying to bury the problems in LA as an anomaly. Combine that with unrest abroad, and I guess they don't have a whole lot of motivation to try and stop it. Historical precedent seems to lend credence to this interpretation, if you're willing to believe my hasty readings on the subject. You're welcome. I am happy to assist.
Yep. ChatGPT.
The Meshnet says Augmented Eye's SF office is run by an individual named Zin, and Tomcat confirmed she's expecting us. All we have to do now is head up and talk to her. No shenanigans this time.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Augmented Eye. You must be the journalist my network admin said would be showing up.
Where are we going in the game? We are exploring the clues about some news reporter actually vanishing who has been writing critical articles on the ROMs.
Have a seat. Would you like a drink? My assistant will bring it right away. Look, I'll start off by saying I'm a little uncomfortable about bringing in another journalist to look into this. Whatever you dig up, I'll have to explain to the rest of the press. But it's still better than the other options.
He needs to explain what dirt we pick up.
Chances are I have another corporation scoping out my territory.
Probably.
If they aren't in the coalition, they'll be expecting a corporate spy, not a news hound. If they are in the coalition, it won't look good for me to send in my own reporters against my allies. Even if I do end up being right. So if I'm damned either way, I'd rather it be by the media. At least then we can fight back on a familiar battlefield. Now, what do you know about our problem here? That's the long and short of it.
Yeah, Tomcat mission.
My network admin is pulling their hair out over it. I'm not going to pretend I understand everything they say, but from what I understand, the changes to our articles aren't being made from inside our network. The versions on our servers are still the originals, but at some point after they hit the mesh, they get changed. I'm hoping that you can do some digging, maybe hit up your contacts and get a lead on who might be doing it. Even if I have to get answers from the nightly news, it will be a big help.
Maybe some reporter is using ChatGPT.
Mostly little things. Word choice, tone of the writing, things that make the writer appear more or less extreme on a topic.
Well, tone changes are definitely like AI can do that for text.
So far, almost all of the edits seem to be making our articles more positive on new technologies coming out, and more critical of organizations like the Human Revolution. That's actually what tipped us off. A harsh criticism one of my writers made about the Human Revolution protests was changed to be downright vitriolic, and I had a hell of a time putting out the fires. My writers and readers aren't exactly fans of them, but I'd rather not pick fights with the Human Revolution if I don't have to. I guess I'm not, but my network admin assures me it's all coming from somewhere else. They told me that they tore out all of the routers that broadcast to the mesh and replaced them with fresh ones. All kinds of tricks involving IP addresses and DNS changes that I'm not going to even begin to claim to understand. I pay them big bucks, so I'm inclined to believe them unless you dig up something that tells me otherwise. Not really. My admin says that only someone with intimate access to Parallax's network protocols could make these kind of changes as something passes across the net. Personally, I think it's a clever hacker rather than someone inside Parallax itself. The public trust rating of Parallax makes them look like a saint among wolves, so their control over the mesh network provisions is strangling. It's trivially easy to set up ROMs to use a different OS than LIPS or a different meshnet protocol without that trust.
Keilahallille.
Or, you know, Parallax is abusing its power to spread pro-tech propaganda. Doubtful they need to.
But it's possible.
I'm sure you'll be a good journo and bring me back the right answer. I know tin hat conspiracies aren't an ideal start, but it's the best we can do with the info we have. Anything else I can tell you, off the record? If you want it on the record, it'll cost you your firstborn and a really good cigar.
Nah.
Like what? There isn't much more I can tell you about Augmented Eye, really. It's a fairly simple and straightforward operation, if I say so myself. We started off in Venezuela as a sleek current events and news organization in 2055. Almost 10 years ago now. We focus on more in-depth reporting of on-the-street happenings, on top of major news. We're one of the few good ones left. Once folks in other cities saw the type of reporting we do, they all clamored for it. They invested in the right places and it paid off. COS-IO Corp is happy to have us here in the OSF. It wasn't until hybrid tech started hitting the public sphere that we had to make any changes to our model. All of that said, I can't see why anyone would target us. Unless they're just trying to embroil us in a mudslinging match with the human revolution, and there are much more direct ways of making that happen. Alright, look. I wasn't going to tell you this.
Okay.
If it gets out, I'd have to answer some really hard questions. So, you didn't hear this from me. You might want to go check out TMI Entertainment and Charlie Nova. That's all I'll say. And remember, you take a bite out of him with my name as your defense, I drop you fast. What? Not wanting to answer prying questions from my coalition board isn't a good enough reason? 'Cause I'd really like to avoid that. And look, you've covered culture wars, right? My journalists are good, but they're mostly good at gadget reviews, implant releases, not taking too many stims so they remember what they did at raves for the after-party reports.
Nah.
This needs an investigative journalist with serious contacts, not tech personalities. The fact that my network admin recommended you to me means you probably know the right people. Now, does that cover it? I'd like to remove my nose from your ass.
Nah.
No, don't bother. In hindsight, I probably should have been a bit more circumspect about speaking to you. Plausible deniability and all that. I won't ask you to lie in anything you write, but do remember you got in contact with me not even second-hand, but third-hand. I certainly didn't sick you on anyone. Wink wink, nudge nudge, or whatever. If you need anything else, have your person get with my person. Don't come here directly. Now, I'd show you the door, but you know the way. And this isn't the only fire I'm trying to put out. Good luck, and goodbye.
Okay, we were thrown out.
That was more confrontational than I'd have expected, considering she was the one needing help. She never brought you that water, either. Is it always like this? Very true. I will admit that I am interested in the possibility of a link back to Parallax. If all of this really is due to somebody manipulating the meshnet on the inside, it may give us the leverage we need to find out what happened to Hayden once and for all. That said, I will take care not to get my hopes up. We should make no assumptions when investigating, lest we lead ourselves down a false path. Anyway, seems like our next step is... What the...
Okay, I didn't know this is a Russia.
What the... That's Sin! You must think you're so funny.
Yes.
A woman may be dead, and all you care about is a punchline. I'll remember that when you get thrown from a window and die. Ha ha ha! Perhaps you are cold and dead inside, but the rest of us still have hearts. So, if you're satisfied, let's head back up to her office. Maybe we can find out what happened. It looks like the desk has been cleared off. Let's take a look around, but be careful not to disturb any evidence. The police will be here soon. Even a ROM like that doesn't deserve an end like this. Her personal computer is not password protected at the moment. Give me a moment to look through her files. Best to keep your fingerprints off of the keyboard.
Yeah. A robot doesn't have a fingerprints,
Most
probably.
of this isn't very interesting. Committee reports, financials, article submissions. Oh, here we go. According to this email between Zin and her network admin, her lead on TMI Entertainment is a little more solid than she led us to believe. The admin ran a web crawler looking for changes in writing styles. Some blog posts by their head anchor Charlie Nova stood out like a sore thumb. Apparently he's a bit pompous, if in an affable way, and his blog usually just details his day-to-day life. But ever since the human revolution has been in town, he's been smearing them with more venom than you'd expect, considering how neutral his on-air reporting has been. Zin seemed to think he was just complaining about the protesters fouling up traffic, and whoever is manipulating these posts spun it to make him look critical of the movement as a whole, just like the augmented eye journalist. This Charlie fellow is the one we need to talk to.
Motivational poster in a crime scene.
My thermal sensors only detect a single set of lingering footprints, and they end almost 3 feet away from the window. Considering the density of this glass, I can't imagine Zin jumped from that far and managed to throw herself through the pane without help.
So the murderer is R-O-A.
But who could have done it? I don't see any obvious marks on the floor or any other thermal hotspots.
R-O-M. Wrong.
It doesn't look like it. We should go. There isn't anything else here, and the police are almost... Son of a...
Yep. Oops. Hello.
I should have figured the two of you would be here.
It wasn't us.
You just won't stay out of trouble no matter what I say, will you?
I assure you, Detective Rivers, we are merely in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had an appointment with Zin to discuss a possible lead and found her office in this state of disrepair.
Of course you did. Damn it. Fine. Get the hell out of here before anyone else shows up. We'll chat about the case more when I'm not busy scraping bodies off the pavement. You hear me?
Certainly, Detective Rivers. I'll forward you a report of what we know immediately, and we can speak further at a later time.
Yeah, whatever. Get moving.
better this way. We are chasing smoke trails. You think she would assist such an unlikely investigation? I do not need you to infer upon my motivations or highlight my duplicity. Detective Rivers has every bit of information that Zinn gave us on that computer. Her investigation will not be hampered by our absence, whereas ours is halted if we're stuck giving answers she can just as well get from a hard drive. Literally. Has it occurred to you that whoever threw Zinn out of that window could be after the same thing we are, except to silence the story rather than to get it out? We have little time for fooling about and must get to Charlie Nova before something happens to him too. Now, unless you have further recriminations to level at me, we must not squander the time my dishonesty bought us. I have highlighted the main Neo-SF offices for TMI Entertainment on your map.
So,
Let's go.
Robot Boy can actually lie.
I hope some pity for me still remains, considering my recent tone, because I'm honestly not sure where we should start. I suppose we should just ask the receptionist to point us to somebody who can answer our questions. Honestly, you do have your own mesh access, yes? I'm quite certain you can handle all the casual searches you might feel like making. We hardly have time for me to blather out every bit of exposition you desire when you could just go look it up on your own. No, I'm sorry. I'm just a bit on edge. Things are barreling out of our control, and I'm taking it out on you. Forgive me. Let me pull up the
Body count is
information you
growing.
requested.
That's actually quite true.
TMI Entertainment is a relatively popular celebrity and gossip news conglomerate. They own OK Today. They did a good job transitioning from the traditional media models of television and news to the net-based model prevalent now, pioneered by their digital newspaper, OK Today's The Scanline. Some might call their programs rags, but opinion on the mesh seems more favorable than not. They stick to mostly good-natured prying and lean away from the seedier nastiness that paparazzi can get up to. As such, they have a positive relationship with many celebrities and regularly get exclusive scoops that keep their ratings up, despite their refusal to peddle in the darker side of the celebrity news circuit.
I think the transformation from the paperback magazines to the internet was ongoing when this game came out, like in 2016. So very much in works.
Charlie Nova is TMI Entertainment's most popular TV personality. He's gotten consistently high ratings for almost a decade and isn't afraid to tell you about it. The chatter on the mesh paints him as a bit arrogant, but in that loud, backslapping kind of way that a media star can get away with. He's best known for hosting Star in the Stratosphere. It's one of those talent-seeking reality programs. Apparently, when TMI can't organically discover enough celebrities, they just manufacture them.
Just like in Idols.
Oh, and also, according to this blog, Charlie's hair is flawless.
Right. Got it. Hybrid receptionist.
Welcome to TMI
Bunny ears.
Entertainment Incorporated. Do you have an appointment? I really can't let you in without an appointment.
appointment?
Oh, look, if it's that important, I can buzz you through to Sympathy. But she isn't going to be very happy about being bothered off schedule, so don't get your hopes up. And, try not to make her too mad. I'll be the one dealing with the fallout.
Yep.
Right.
Good that I didn't
course.
miss the explaining
I
of this
apologize.
place. Yep.
We will be as tactful as possible, I assure
Yep.
you.
Okay, she's over on the other side of the room. Head straight there, because she doesn't like it when people bother the talent.
Hey, you, over here, now. What are you doing bothering my people? I thought I told Nina to cancel all my appointments for the day.
Yeah.
I swear that girl couldn't find her ears if I taped them over her eyes. At least she makes a decent cup of coffee. Yes, I am. And if you don't mind, I keep the show running here, so I'll be brief. What are you doing in my building?
Sympathy.
We've been given a lead on a story that involves one of your personalities, Charlie Nova.
Yeah, he might be in a danger, so.
Someone has been manipulating his articles on the meshnet and turning them into scathing attacks against the human revolution. We are trying to track the culprit, and we need to talk to Mr. Nova to hunt down further leads.
You let your ROM do all the talking for you?
Yes.
Must be one of those new interrogation modules all the fresh meat rave about. Of course I know someone's been modifying Charlie's articles. I'm tracking them down myself. What I want to know is why I should help you snatch the scoop out from underneath me. Super hacker twists meshnet news for personal political vendetta? The clicks basically farm themselves. Zin? Augmented eyes, Zin? What does Zin have to do with this?
Well, she's dead.
She's the one who gave us the lead to begin with. Then, someone threw her out of her office window. We figured Mr. Nova might be next, and we wanted to get to him first.
Holy shit. Fine, I'll let you talk to Charlie.
Yeah. Shit is getting dangerous.
If someone is trying to kill people over this, I'd rather it be out and done with as fast as possible. I mean, shit, we're an entertainment scene. Nobody should die for that.
Yep.
But hey, watch yourself with Charlie. He's a pompous clown, but he's my pompous clown. Keep it civil, or I'll throw your ass out and figure this out on my own. Now get on it. I need to make some calls.
Go right on through.
Ah, okay. Where is the Charlie?
Fantastic! How fantastic! I just love your ROM. Not quite as stunning as mine, but still pretty grand. Very sleek, very clean. Bravo. Oh, Sympathy is doing that thing where she waves at me to hurry things up. Right down to brass tacks then, I suppose. Wait! I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Charlie Nova, host of Tonight in the Stars and Star in the Stratosphere. But you already knew that, I'm sure.
Of
What
course.
can I do for you, Oh, you flatter me. Yes, you do. I can't imagine you've come all this way just to get my story, have you?
Well,
After
actually,
all,
yes.
I've already published my very own splendid 100% original autobiography, Like a Nova.
Probably written by ChatGPT,
But I suppose I can give you a quick rundown, even if sympathy is giving me the stink eye. I grew up here on the mean streets of Neo-SF, but my jocular nature and striking countenance got me scouted for a few small product advertisements. And the rest is not so ancient history. Now I'm the host of the largest celebrity news show on the mesh, and I couldn't be happier. It's all thanks to my swarms of fans, though. They're the ones who count.
Yes, any additional information on your station would be greatly appreciated.
Well, it's the best damn network on the planet, I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
We put out top-notch news and entertainment, but with real heart that our competitors just can't match. But if you really want to know about TMI, you need to know about Sympathy. It's her pride and joy, after all. Sure, she can be a little acerbic, and sure, she calls me a poofy-haired oaf all the time, but you can really tell she cares, you know? Deep down.
Pitching is a sure sign of care.
I'm not sure if that throat-cutting gesture she's making is a signal to move to another topic or a threat against my physical well-being.
Could be both.
So, let's move on. What next? Oh, it may have come up in the last lunch meeting we had, but Sympathy assured me that it was some kind of technical glitch, and our support people were on top of it. They're top-notch, the absolute best money can buy. So I don't think there's anything more to say on the subject. That's very upsetting. I hope you've passed along that information to Sympathy. I'm certain our tech people will be able to find the culprit in short order once they know enough about it. I really don't know what I have to do with it, though.
Are we barking the wrong tree here?
It's Charlie. And of course, I'm the leading man around here. Who has said otherwise? I'm not quite certain what you think it is that I don't know, but I assure you that I know what it is.
Right.
You won't be able to trip me up that easily.
Do every host need to be a narcissistic personality? If they can access your stories, what else can they get on you?
Nothing. The tech guys already did an audit on my online presence, and there's no evidence of any attempts of unauthorized access to any of my accounts.
Yet.
That's why they're having a hard time pinning down this creep. He isn't actually changing the posts from inside my account at all. So there you go. We're already on top of it. Nothing.
All right, that's enough. Charlie has a show to get ready for. He's told you everything he's going to. So get the hell out of here. If you find anything more interesting than what you've got, come back and see me again. Directly.
Remember, I'm the victim in all this.
Okay, that bit didn't go so well.
Oh man, she looks really cheesed off now. Do you know how snippy she can get?
No idea.
I better get her coffee ready. Maybe that'll calm her down.
We're very sorry if we made your day more difficult. Perhaps I could take the coffee over to Sympathy and we could try to smooth her rumpled feathers.
Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You make her even madder?
Probably.
Oh no. On second thought.
It'll only take a minute.
All right, but she takes it with plenty of milk.
make amends.
I thought I told you to beat it. Or do your ears just not work? Ha! Ah, that's cute. I promise I don't bite. I just have a job to do. Sometimes I think Charlie's hair gel seeps into his brain, but he brings in most of our revenue, so his happiness is our top priority. Now, Scram, you know how to get in touch with me if you need me.
That did not go well at all. We need some kind of leverage to get Mr. Nova to give us the information we want. I'm certain he knows something. Don't you agree?
Okay, okay.
Indeed.
He was
While
pretty
we were
brave.
talking to
That's
him,
actually
I
true.
took the opportunity to look into his history more thoroughly.
Okay.
It turns out he did a series of promos for a local Hassie bar early in his career.
Hassie
And
bar,
some
okay.
fans still spot him there from time to time. It's a long shot, but frankly, everything about this case has been one long shot after another. Maybe we should question the people at this Hassie establishment and look for any dirt we can use to put some pressure on Mr. Nova.
Now this feels like a normal
There
Scoop.
must be something. It's the only path I see.
whatever. Sure.
The Hassie bar is located on Market Street, near the Genus Clinic. We can head there whenever you're ready.
He's alone here.
Welcome back! Care to take another pamphlet or two? Ah, the cold weather has made organising demonstrations a bit difficult, to say the least. But I refuse to relent in our mission. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, I will not rest until I stop these abominations from undoing God's almighty work. That's a leading question. Of course, some people have life-threatening afflictions, and it's a good thing that science has evolved to treat all kinds of diseases. Simply wanting cat ears and furry tails does not constitute a disease. The disease of the mind, perhaps. If the government strictly limits genetic alteration surgeries to only life-threatening emergencies, well, there would be a start towards undoing the damage. We are not God. We were made in his image, and his image did not include fur.
So he's an anti-furry.
Great! Do tell me when you get the article out. I love to read the comment.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but doesn't most of the meshnet speak critically of your organization?
Oh, that's cute. The robot wants to join in the discussion now. Yes, this is true. Though historically, most revolutionaries are unpopular when they're in the middle of the fight. I sleep comfortably knowing that history will be on my side. Why, thank you. I appreciate bold integrity from good journalists like yourself. Oh, please do. And remember, God designed you perfectly just the way you are.
Well, if it isn't the luckiest jerk I've ever seen in my life.
Luckiest jerk.
I had to schedule a specialist to come fix my ROM, and you better hope they can. Oh well, all's well that ends well. I underestimated how much people would appreciate an early Christmas. Anyway, what can I do for you? Sure, I still have a little bit before closing, and I
could use some conversation to distract me from the anticipation of the VR drama I have waiting for me when I get off. What do you want to know? Charlie is a complete trip. We met when he was just starting out doing adverts. He still drops in every once in a while to hang out.
Okay.
I love the guy. He's super funny, always has the best stories, and his hair is perfect.
Right.
And he parties harder than anyone I know.
So she's probably the one who wrote the articles to the
couple weeks
Meshnet.
ago, he invited me to his raid at some hole that's probably already shut down, and he got so amped up on Crash that he jumped up on the table and hosted an impromptu dirty dancing contest. I swear, if he was in Charlie Nova, we would have gotten chucked out on our asses, but it was a lot of fun. If you want to meet him, just hang around here long enough. He loves mingling with his fans. Not that it helps his ego any.
This is pretty innocuous. We are going to need more evidence if we're to fabricate a believable story that will convince Mr. Nova it's in his best interest to help us.
Oh, it's an ongoing drama called Magical Commander Yukino. Yukino at the Gates to the Deep. In it, you play the magical girl Yukino as she fights off elder gods as they arise from the ocean.
Right.
It's a bit cliched and just about as silly as you would expect, but it includes some really interesting intersection between the Japanese magical girl trope and the American Cthulhu mythos.
Right.
All with a pseudo-military theme.
Right.
In the newest episode, Yukino has to face off against the Yith as they try to inhabit the bodies of people in the present to escape their destruction in the past.
Yeah, look, good thing that H.P. Lovecraft novels are actually open source.
Not really. Video games are about winning and manipulating the mechanics of the system to get ahead, right? Dramas are more about inhabiting the role of the character. There are rules, but they're mostly about behaving consistently in the fictional world.
So this is basically visual novel.
It's a bit like being in improv theater, except if you get too far out of your character, the system boots you out and you have to start the episode over.
So basically Assassin's Creed.
Everyone experiences the drama a little differently, but it stays broadly consistent because you have to maintain the behavior of the character you're inhabiting. It requires you to really get inside the head of another person. I like it better than VR games, but that's just me. It's the best! Super awesome! If you need any other suggestions, I played through a little bit of everything. I'm sure I could find something you'd like. Maybe a detective drama. Anyway. You don't have internal hookups, do you? The older sets are all helmets that use electromagnetic waves to stimulate the neural pathways in your brain to induce the desired sensory input. It's pretty crude though, which is why EM hats give you that dreamlike experience. It doesn't quite feel real. The Direct Link network has way higher fidelity. It's like actually being there. And since the Direct Link can interrupt your primary motor cortex, you don't have to take muscle relaxers to keep from flailing around.
Right.
But some people are still scared off by it.
So using VR is basically an epileptic seizure.
Well, it's pretty invasive. They inject this smart polymer into the base of your skull, right at the brainstem, and it crawls along your primary neural pathways and bonds to your major sensory centers.
Right.
It's been safe for almost a decade, but a lot of folks are still pretty skeeved out by the idea of having a bunch of conductive plastic coating in the inside of their brains. Plus, for the 24 hours or so that is hooking everything up and self-calibrating, you start to have intense hallucinations because of all the electrical crossfiring. It's a trip, I'll tell you that. But no worse than the stuff people have been taking for millennia, watching the world melt. Anyway, if you're looking to get installed, I have a guy who does great work. Just let me know. Sure, just let me know if you need anything. I'm all...
This ROM serves up the hassy.
I haven't seen you around here before. Is there something I can help you with?
I heard Charlie Nova hangs out around here sometimes.
Another one of his fans, huh? Yeah, he comes here sometimes. I don't really get why everyone likes him so much. Well, I have a picture from this time he flipped off a box of kittens.
Oh no, not the kittens.
Somebody brought them to try to give away, and one of them scratched him up. He ended up taking it home, but he really hammed it up about getting scratched. I think he ended up calling him, I think it was Captain Snuggles? It was pretty funny, actually. I'll send your Rom a picture.
Okay.
Whoa, hey, it's you!
Keith.
Wow, long time.
Who's this?
Hey, not too old now. Did you manage to keep that plant I got you alive?
Yeah, totally.
Really? Nice job. I didn't expect it to last a month.
It's still alive. Barely.
It's great to see you, though. Sorta surreal, too. You're never around on social sites or anything, you know. I bet you didn't see any of the pictures I put up from my last climbing trip in Colorado. For a tech journalist, you do have pretty poor net presence.
That's what I said.
Figures. So, what's with the bot? Yours? Really? Huh. I didn't think you liked to bring work home, as it were. Anyway, it's great to see you. What brings you to the Hassie Bar? Doing a review of that sweet weather ROM outside or something? All right, now that's the kind of journalism I'm talking about.
Indeed, we're looking into some accusations made against Charlie Nova. And we're actually trying to build up a solid case against him.
Normal stuff what the journalists do.
No shit.
Yeah.
I actually may have exactly what you need.
Of course you do.
Charlie comes here all the time. You know that show he's host of, Star in the Stratus? That show where normal people try to become actors and singers and all.
Idols.
Listen to this recording I made when he was here last month on his book tour.
So many people come up to me thinking that if they can sing or act, I'll just make them a superstar. But that isn't how it works. Raw talent isn't enough to get you by in this industry, and anyone who thinks so is lying to themselves. It takes hard work and persistence. You gotta want it, and want it bad. But the kids I get on Star in the Stratosphere, which I host each and every week as you all know, they're all so young and hungry. I love them. I do my damnedest to make sure they get what they want. They give me their best, so I'm gonna give them mine.
Okay.
It's not much, but it might help you build a case if you chop it up right. Just keep my name off it. I post hiking pictures, not scandals. Well, if nothing else, the threat of this dropping on the mesh should get them talking. Here, I just made a copy for you. Anyway, I'd love to catch up soon. For now, I'll let you keep at it. You can usually find me here if you want to chat again.
So basically, you could cut that very incriminating way.
Say, why did you tell Keith that I belong to you?
Well, I do like you and I don't have a ROM of my own yet.
I'll thank you to remember that I am not the same as any ordinary ROM that exists to be subservient. I don't like being forced to assert my independence as a unique individual, but I really thought you were above this. Anyway, frankly, I'm starting to feel a bit uneasy about this. Mr. Nova's clearly an upstanding individual, if just a bit boisterous.
We are just going to blackmail him a bit.
But I suppose if we're in for a penny, we're in for a pound. This should be more than enough anecdotal evidence to fabricate a less than flattering image of Mr. Nova that the public will eat right up. Let us present our story to him immediately.
Well, that's what people use ChatGPT for,
Hopefully our
so.
delay has not put him in physical
Or any
danger.
Gen AI.
Hey, you two! I think I'm gonna have to let security know that you're not allowed back in the building. Doubtful, but let's hear it. Never let it be said I didn't give someone a chance to dig their own grave.
Has Chatty having partying problems? Look at this.
So what? I like to show people a good time. There's nothing wrong with that.
Damn it, I told you to get off the crash, Charlie. Shit like this keeps coming up.
I did. And besides, I wasn't doing anything illegal.
Anyway, this is just pathetic. This is really your best attempt at blackmailing us?
Hey, that's completely out of context. And I love Captain Snuggles. Sure, we didn't get off to a good start, but he's a great cat. The best.
Charlie, flipping off a kitten? Why? Whatever, this is still nothing but hot air. You need to step up your game, kid.
Ha, you're just grasping at straws. This speech was truly a beacon of light for the entire entertainment community. There's no way an original sermon like that is going to convince anyone that I'm a bad guy.
Well, with some creative editing. You go public with this flimsy smear piece, I'm gonna tear you apart.
Oh, enough, enough! I'm not cut out for this cloak and dagger game, Sympathy. What's the big deal anyway? It's not like they've got anything substantial to use. I might as well give them what they want, so they'll go away.
Tell them whatever you want. And I'll be taking that evidence.
Evidence. Yeah, game about blackmailing.
You didn't have to do all of this.
Yeah.
I would have helped if you had just asked.
Right.
But it's always push and dig and needle, isn't it? I'm not a journalist. I'm just an anchor. I read off a teleprompter and look good doing it. I don't have much to offer you, but here's what I know. Trust me, I'd love to lay down some earth-shattering pronouncement and dazzle you with my investigative skills, but all I've got is flimsy threads at best.
Of course.
The thing is, all this stuff with my stories, stuff getting changed, making me look like I don't like the human revolution or whatever, it started after I had an upgrade made to my VR uplink hardware. The technically legal kind.
Technically legal.
Look, I like to have a good time at a party, right? But Sympathy keeps hammering on me for pounding back too much crash and whatnot. Nothing illegal, but she says it makes me look like shit on camera the next day. So I went to this guy I know, good guy, everyone uses him. He's called Nanya. He does great work after just one simple back alley brain surgery, bing bang boom.
Back alley brain surgery.
I can use an app to make my VR uplink have the same effect on my brain that the stims do, without all the nasty physical side effects.
Right. Yeah, this feels totally like a cyberpunk.
It could be a
Back
coincidence, though.
I don't believe in coincidences.
The tech guys didn't find anything wrong with my uplink, and they say the modifications check out.
But
that Nanya guy does a lot of work for media people around here. So if a bunch of posts are getting changed, maybe that's your weak link. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, what if the cybernetics surgeon has their own equipment like
Pretty flimsy, but I'll send you the address and you can go talk to him.
yeah, poisoned or decontaminated contaminated with the virus.
If he'll even see you, that is. Well, we took far too long to get to it, but I'm quite happy to assist in any way that I can. Just make sure you source me in your article, right? Maybe run a rough draft past me and I'll give you some quotes. I'm certain that'll help signal boost the story all the way to the stratosphere.
Right.
Give it the old Charlie Nova bump. Maybe we can smooth out all this silliness between us. Anyhow, I really have to get back to work. Let me know how it goes with the murderous hacker thing. My ROM will call your ROM.